Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, The Body Heals Itself. I'm your host, Jessica Rebecca, and today we dive into the topic of these different parts we have within us, and that it's not always clear what these parts are and need, but they need time to come to the front. So, what do I mean when I talk about parts? So how I experience it, it's like our body stores different parts of us. These parts are formed at a different time in our life, in this life or in past lives. Maybe these parts have also been passed on by our mother or our father. But it's like the body kind of stores it, and that's why, like, for me, it's accessible through the body, because I think it's so easy, like when you sense it in your body, to like inquire them instead of just in the mind journaling about. And so these are the parts, they were formed at a specific time in your life, and they build like beliefs, or you will build these beliefs, but it's these parts that are connected to your beliefs. And so when we explore our subconscious, we encounter different parts of us. And as I said before, they can be from you, that you formed them yourself. Like when you were a child, for example, it can be so simple that you were upset as a child and you wanted to go to your mom to cry, but she was making dinner and she didn't have time right now for you. So she kind of pushed you away or told you like later, or like she doesn't have time now. So what could happen is that there was a time that you were upset, maybe you fell, you were bleeding, you wanted to go to your mom, but your mom didn't have time. Then you're a child, your frontal cortex isn't developed, so you can't make analytical decisions. And what that makes you, maybe you made it believe about yourself in that moment that you can't share and express your feelings, like sadness. So you stuff it inside of you. So this moment of time was stored within you, and you made it believe something about yourself because you were a child and you didn't have the capacity to cautiously analyze what this means. So hence our subconscious, how we see the world, is formed. But there's one specific part that was formed within you, and that part was sad. So like it was crying, it was upset, and it wanted someone that it can be seen, that it can be held, that it can express its emotions. But at that moment in time, you made it believe that it's not safe to express your emotions, so you kept it inside. There probably was another part built that protected that sad part. So there are different parts that are usually built with one specific moment in time. Usually, as we make this belief about ourselves in that moment of time, we start to attract several experiences in our life, or just life happens, and these things may happen again, and you make it believe about yourself even more, like you feed that part. And it's not your fault, it's not your mom's fault, it's just how we as human function. So I want you to understand, what does it mean? What does a part mean? So this can be a very, very young part of you. And so then this protector part was formed, and maybe over your life you had different experiences which formed even different parts around that, like, oh, it's safe to express this to that, but that to that person. And so when we inquire these parts, when we get curious about our beliefs and why can't I show my emotions around someone, with this example, we will encounter these parts, and usually first encounter this protector part that wants to keep this sad part safe. And this can look different, like it can be that it is a specific person, or maybe it's just an object like a blanket that's put over it in order to protect you. And so a lot in the healing world is talked about releasing, alchemizing. And yes, we alchemize when we feel, but it's not always about releasing. This is still a part of you, and there's a reason why it's there. And especially when it comes to a protector part, can we be thankful for it? It kept us safe for so many years. And then how would you feel like if you are protecting such a dear friend of you for years, and then this friend just comes, I don't need you anymore, I want to feel now, I need to release you. How ungrateful. Like, Can you believe it? That they would do that to you? Obviously, you wouldn't go. You would get upset. Maybe you would even clinch a bit. So this is not the way. But like seeing this, oh my gosh, thank you. Like you go into a conversation with this friend of yours, with your past, like, thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for protecting me. Maybe you throw it even a little party because, yes, you kept me safe. Thank you. Like a retirement party. I don't know. So it can take on another job that your friend can go, but this needs time. It's not something that just happens. And so this is like the first part. And sometimes it's not clear what this part needs. And it's not that it wants to go right now. Like we encounter these parts within us. We're like, oh, it's a limiting belief. I need to out. I need to release. It needs to go. No. Can we allow it to be here? To sit in this confusion and maybe also not be clear what its job is, and maybe also that there are like thoughts and feelings that come up, oh, I can't survive with this part, because you built it from such a young age and you make it also believe about yourself that this is truly you. So can we get curious about it and just being with it, building a relationship and seeing what it wants to show us? Maybe it wants to do something completely different, or maybe it wants to protect you in a different manner. Maybe it wants to be seen by someone. And so, as I said, this is like now all the protector part, but then also the sad part. Maybe then both parts come up. And sometimes the sad part is more predominant. So it's more here. It wants to be felt. It wants to be seen. And it's normal that then the protector part comes up again to protect you because it has been there for such a long time. So I do believe healing or this kind of work happens so fast compared to how long it has been stored within us. But I also believe like time, patience, compassion, and curiosity, they are key. We're not here to rush it. We are here to explore, to get curious about it. Just getting also curious about really the beliefs we are having and the paths they are from. So maybe when you are aware of your beliefs and you're like, so it's like a new moon, full moon, and full moon, I need to release my limiting beliefs. This is what I'm releasing. It's usually a belief or a story we have. And usually this story is not true. But can we get curious about the story itself? Okay, not the story. The story might be true, sorry, but I meant more what it make you believe about yourself. So it's not something that needs to be released, but again, to get curious about the belief, about the story, and to see it from a different point of view. And it's not about forgiving someone who hurt you. Again, it's about you and what you make yourself believe. So if you're aware of your beliefs, like a simple one, money doesn't grow on trees. It's a very collective belief a lot of people have. But then can you get further curious and inquire, what kind of part of me believes that? Like, how old is it? How young? Where does it live? And what does this part need? Because yes, you can write down your limiting belief and saying, I'm releasing it. It's beautiful to do a fire ritual. I love all these things. But to get more into the depth, we need to understand where does it come from, and not with like, I need to analyze and figure it out. No, but more again with feeling and allowing it to unravel. So it's a very subtle work, which is not very clear. And again, like there can then become different limiting beliefs of different parts of us. And can we hold these parts on the spectrum? There's no bad or good. It's a spectrum. The spectrum gets wider and wider, and it gets so confusing. And can we be in the confusion or maybe even the emptiness? And it's like, it doesn't make sense. Like this part, they need someone to hold it, but there is no one out there who can hold me at the moment. There's no physical partner. Maybe there's I need my mother to see me, to hold me. And also it's just about acknowledging that. And sometimes it can hurt so much that there is no one out there who can hold us at this moment in time. And again, coming back to, I'm holding myself. Yeah, I'm doing all this work, but I actually need someone else. And this is so beautiful. This is being human. And I truly actually believe, yes, we need other people. There is a need for that. We are meant to live in a tribe with other people, to connect. And so I think here it's very important to know that you need someone and to allow yourself to need them, but not from a place of codependency. Like, this is another very subtle differentiation. But when you're coming to these paths who desire to be held, and yes, we give that to themselves, and it's so beautiful, but that's why it's also beautiful to do one-on-one work. There are these paths where you can be fully seen and held in that moment, because that's where true healing happens. And then the more we try to give it to ourselves, and the more we also hold and feel this grief. Oh my gosh, I need someone else. I desire someone else. Like, this hurts, and it can be so confusing, thinking, no, it's not going to work because I need someone else, but I'm always giving it myself. It's so hard. Like, it's so many things. Like, this is one specific example, but I really want to talk about is that there's so many different paths, and when they come up, there will be confusion, and it can a very uncertainty. It's not sometimes clear what they need, and again, that's why I say time, patience, compassion, so that they can unravel more and more. These very young parts or old parts, they need time to mature, to come to the front, to fully show us what they're here for, because these parts never had a chance to mature. And this is really what it's about. And then sitting with it. They don't need a lot of these parts. They need to be seen and to be held by you, to be witnessed by you, and just having the space to be here, because they were stuck for such a long time within you. And then we can allow this confusion to be here without trying to analyze it. That's when the beauty happens. It happens so fast. To really just caution. That's why I love working with the body to get to these paths, because then you can really feel it in your body. And for me, I usually visualize them outside of myself, like to really hold them, feel them, like different parts of me, but also at the same time, it's within my body, like really accessing for that. So it's kind of like, it's not meditation, it's really sitting with these parts to allow them to be here, to be seen, and just visualizing and witnessing them, and like letting them unravel, because they were within you for such a long time, and what they truly desire is for you to allow them to come to the front so they can mature, they can show you more of you. And there's always a little truth in every part of who you are, or maybe it's like really underneath these different parts there's something else that comes up. It's just a subtle emotion you feel then through your body, but this is then how we truly embody, when we unravel these parts and we let that come through what needs to come through, when we really feel it through the body instead of saying affirmations out loud. It's still like in the head, but when you feel it through the body, again, you can start with your limiting beliefs, but getting aware of where are these parts within me? Where do they sit in the body? And what kind of parts are they? With curiosity, compassion, presence, and time. You don't need to force it, but just being with them. I think this is so key. And it comes back to a lot of teaching that's about being present in the moment. So can you first be present with yourself? This is a huge question. Can you be present with the confusion without trying to understand it? But just being aware of it, being present with it, with compassion, with awareness. And yeah, I think this is so key. And especially like if you go through something like this, you're not alone. It's so normal to feel this confusion. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Also, especially when these parts come up, but I need someone else. There's no one else who can give it to me, and I'm tired of giving it to myself. Can you still allow it to be here and see what it wants to show you? And maybe there's also then a deeper desire for you, for your life, what you truly desire, that you have someone else in your life, and in what capacity. And I think this is so beautiful and true matching. And it's not only that we then alchemize the pain, the physical pain, the emotional pain. There's really like gifts in it, in every part. And so again, it's not about releasing or pushing them away or also getting stuck in our limiting beliefs, because when you get these paths, it can be so hard to discern who is truly me, or is it this part talking, or really thinking, oh, I can't get out of this thinking, it's so clearly me, and this is just because they're coming to the front, so it's more clear. And then with time you can differentiate between what is your true thought, or what is like a thought, a belief you made yourself believe at a certain time in moment. Is it truly a belief you want to keep on having? And that's why you can inquire your path to see what they truly need, what they desire, and then shift it from there. It's like a different point of perspective while still holding all these paths, like from your center. So yeah, I hope this wasn't too confusing, because again, it can be so confusing when these paths come up and these beliefs, and it's not about to figure it out right away, but really the beauty with like sitting with it, allowing it to be here, to not have an answer right away, to not always know what these paths need. They will show us when it's their time to show us. So if you have any questions, please reach out. Let me know in the comments how you found that. If you desire further input on that, I'm here for everything. And if you liked it, subscribe and like and share. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.